Hey guys, welcome to Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill the Bull. On today's episode, we have the Boomer Team, one of the most well-respected meme projects on base that is bridging the gap between the normies, quote unquote, and the Web3 ecosystem. Not only has it established its brand, it's also doing innovative things such as having its currency being used at the Howard in San Francisco and doing the test pilot program. And yeah, we'll touch on that, and we'll touch on some of the core team members about what resonates with them for Boomer, and why are they so passionate about building on Web3 on base. So stay tuned.
Guys, welcome to the podcast. We are honored to have the Boomer core team on, Lamer and Christian. How are you two doing today?
So good to be here. How are you, Bill?
I
Absolutely
can't complain.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't complain. One day, tomorrow's July 4th in America. It's a big holiday. So we're, just going to rest. But I wanted to make sure I got this podcast in. Happy to have you guys on. So, guys, for those that may not, be too familiar with Boomer, maybe they're listening to this on Spotify for the first time and coming across your project. Can you guys just kind of give a brief update or background as to what exactly is Boomer?
At its core, we're a meme coin, and we're on base. Big focus of ours is really just onboarding the masses. We look at meme coins as more than kind of just a meme, but more of a vessel to get people involved with crypto and get people onboarded. And honestly, we're a community takeover. The dev rug day one, I don't know anything that's more crypto as a start than that. So we came together and have been working on this project, Boomer, since March. So we've all invested a bunch of time and resources into this, and the core team's grown to about 10. Community's grown to about 7,500 in counting.
Oh, I didn't know it was a CTO. That's actually really interesting. I find in my experiences, CTOs actually are pretty bullish in the sense that you guys can get core holders to kind of work together to take it to the next height. So very interesting to hear that.
I think one thing that I wanted to add to that, I think, is that Boomer's not just a meme coin, but it's a meme coin that really likes to break the mold in a lot of different ways. And, I think when you look around the meme coin space, there are new crops of meme coins that are coming up that, frankly, are sort of following the lead that Boomer really established in March, Christian, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The timeline in this space is mind-blowing. But there's a whole new crop of meme coins that are very dedicated to doing memes, being who they are, but doing things a little bit differently. And I think Boomer is definitely one of the first meme coins out there that are starting to do things differently. I am living proof that we are definitely a different type of meme coin nonetheless. But yeah, it's a little bit cutting. I like to say that we're a little bit cutting edge when it comes to that. We can talk a little bit more about that probably a little as we go on.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think you guys are kind of setting the stage as to what a meme coin should be, and I think you're going to have a lot of people trying to emulate what you guys are trying to do, and that's a good compliment, I guess you can say, for if other teams are trying to replicate your success. That means you guys are clearly doing something right. And, from an outsider's perspective, I mean, it's clear that you guys are firing on all cylinders. You're one of the top meme coins on base, hands down. It doesn't matter. Boomer's always in the news. And we'll touch on, a lot of the exciting stuff that you guys have going on. For those new, Boomer, CTO, Dev Rug, core team members came in, and now you have 7,000 in your Telegram, you said?
Yeah, about 7,500 in the Telegram. But we're... I think the Twitter's about to pass 8,000, should be today.
Wow. And that's all since March?
That was all since March. Actually, end of March, going into the next month. Wow. So we've been moving. Yeah.
Wow. My mind's kind of blown. How's that even possible? That's amazing. That's incredible.
Dedication. This community is really amazing. You've got people who've been here like Christian since day one. I came, Christian, 4 weeks after that, maybe?
Yeah.
And it's just the energy around this community is, I think, number one, positive. I think that's one of the things that sort of set us apart right from the very beginning is that we really wanted to be able to create a very positive kind of community. And I think that's what draws a lot of people. They really want to get away from a lot of the sort of toxicity, I think, that can be found in the space. And people are just super real. They're very real. They're very authentic at Boomer, and I think it brings a lot of people in from that authenticity.
So the authenticity and the positivity is kind of what drives the community to your guys's, I guess, project. So I guess then in Boomer, so what kind of the narrative of, so a lot of meme coins have their own narratives, their own spin. Is Boomer, can you guys elaborate as to exactly, well, first of all, some people might not even know what a boomer is maybe demographic. So why don't you guys just briefly explain
Yeah.
kind of Boomer, what it is, and what is the meme kind of overall ethos centers around?
Yeah, I think Boomer as a whole, so I throw back a couple of years, 4chan. 4chan came up with a series of memes, and Boomer was one of them. And it really represented kind of older guy or girl in the crowd that wasn't super familiar with the space, but wanted to get their hands dirty a little bit and experiment with crypto. That was kind of the basic breakdown of the meme. It's still embodied in that way. We're trying to help the people that want to get into crypto or want to get into the space, but just don't know where to start. If you're new to the space, you're a boomer. It doesn't matter if you're, honestly, 30 years and older, you're a boomer in the crypto space. So we're trying to give those a voice and a place to work on a project or get behind a mission to onboard the masses into the crypto space safely. Come in and have a voice. I think that plays into the community factor. Even on like a down day, hearing a lot of complaints, it's more of jumping into the VC and working on a project that's going to push us into the next level months or weeks from now. So it's definitely a great environment.
Actually, it's funny because I am the furthest thing from what you would normally think of as, especially in the meme space, a crypto bro. I'm 52 and I'm a mom, and crypto for me is such a fascinating space. It's an amazing space to learn in, and frankly, like Christian was saying, find a voice. But I think that was, for me, that was the biggest attractor for Boomer, was the fact that somebody like me who's new to the space can find a project like this, find a community like this, and be like, all right, this might actually be my village. I love this. I love the people that I've met. So it's sort of one of those things where, the messaging around community education and safety has been so core that it is bringing people like me into the space. So when we're thinking about the expansion and the reach of crypto, period, a project like Boomer is a really great gateway. It's a great doorway into the space for demographics like me, people who are older. I'm technically Gen X, but when you think about how you're going to grow this space, how you're going to get more of the not just interest but the investment into different projects, for people like me. I think somebody called me retail the other day. I'm like, okay, I'll be retail, no problem. But it's a great opportunity. I think that's what really set Boomer apart for me.
And I like that. And I think you found your own, community, your own clan, right? That you feel comfortable. And I think we need to have all sorts of projects that kind of can capture the entire retail experience. There's going to be some people who might not want to be associated with Boomer, and that's okay. Maybe they're young, 18-year-olds. They want to have some sort of different kind of edginess. That's cool. There's a place for them. But then there's also a place for the older, more sophisticated type who might not be, well-versed in crypto, might be a little noob, quote unquote, a noob. But then they find their tribe, which is probably Boomer. And I like that. And I like that you guys, because I'm an older guy too, I'm almost 40. And so I love, before I even did this podcast, I've owned Boomer in the past. I was just like, I like this. This is cool. It's not just a bunch of youngins. No offense. I love youngins too. I talk to all sorts of people, but it's cool that you guys have carved off your niche. And, with On-Chain Summer coming, and they're trying to onboard, 1 million plus retail users. I think Boomer is going to capture a lot of that if you guys continue. I don't know, but let me ask you guys this. What have been some of the challenges you guys have faced? So since April, obviously not, there's ups and downs in crypto. To get to where you guys have there been any sort of obstacles that have come in your way that you guys have overcome as a team and are proud of it?
Yeah, I would say one one obstacle. I think Lau will agree with this one. Organization. It's one thing to
Yeah.
have organization as like a company. It's a whole nother animal to stay organized as a meme coin or even as a crypto
Yeah.
project, and
CTO.
especially as a
Yep.
CTO. So
Yeah.
I think once we figured out, okay, we need specific channels for this. Let's put a head of Twitter on this. Let's make sure everyone's got the logins for this. While I'm still working with people that I've never seen in face. It's crypto space, so a lot of it's anonymous. But I can hear the genuine in their voice, so we so we open up the door to that channel. It's an interesting place to navigate with the organization, but I think we're doing a really good job, and I think Law honestly came in and really helped with that.
That's incredible. Yeah, I can imagine all the moving parts, especially with people that you maybe have never met before in real life. Organization is important. 10 people, especially for a CTO, that's a lot of moving parts. But if you guys fire on all cylinders and everyone works, I guess there's probably, as long as there's people in charge of kind of like getting stuff done to kind of give the directions and people follow, I think it's an advantage to have 10 on the team.
Yeah, and even that 10, I think it started with about 6. When we first got kicked off, it was 6 people on a Teams call or a Google Meet, and that grew to 10, and now we have like a boardroom of about 25.
Very cool.
We're growing quick with that.
No, I mean, and I think you're growing quick, and I think you guys are going to continue to grow quick because you guys have quickly established yourselves as a premier blue chip on this chain. Simple, and I don't think you guys are going anywhere anytime soon, but up. And I'm not just saying that because you're on my podcast, but it's cool to see. I do want to turn to to some exciting news that you guys kind of posted, and it was actually about using Boomer as the first ever in-person transaction, right? Using Boomer. So can you just tell me, what was that like? Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so it was actually at the Howard in San Francisco, and where this was particularly special is we didn't honestly know this going into it. We were able to use a meme coin, in this case Boomer, to to buy a beer, and as simply as that may sound, that Boomer that we used for that transaction is actually to be held on their balance sheet. So it wasn't something that was a quick, okay, USDC is cashed out at the end of the day from that event. No, this is going to be Boomer on the balance sheet, and they're not going to be converting it. And I think that's where all of a sudden everyone's eyes lit up because they go, okay, wow, so Boomer's not only being used for the transaction, but being maintained on balance sheets, and that hasn't been done before. So it opens up kind of the doors to other opportunities and other merchants to get more involved with the crypto space, because even that venue that we're working with saw the immediate benefits of using crypto and getting tipped down a Boomer, and they're having fun looking at looking at the chart behind the bar and seeing that, okay, wow, it's immediate. It's even quicker than a Visa transaction, the way it's set up. Did you want to add to that, Law?
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, I think I really want to shout out the Howard San Francisco, because as a merchant, they really see the vision of where, coins, but even especially meme coins can be. And the owner of the Howard came into one of our spaces. Was that just last week? I think that was just last week, wasn't it, Christian? But I loved what he said about the fact that the reason that they really wanted to do this was because they wanted to support the meme community. Right. And if they were going to do that, they really wanted to be able to literally put their Boomer where their mouth is and find a way to integrate this into, these transactions as part of this event. And I thought that was really, really important because you can have vendors or merchants sort of play around with this. But when you have a vendor or a merchant in a major metropolitan area like San Francisco, believe so much in meme coins and the meme community that they're actually going to, integrate it into their operations, or start to integrate it into their operations. That is really, it goes a long way, I think, in terms of legitimizing not just crypto and using crypto in the real world, but specifically the meme coins, because Jesse Pollock, when he was doing the On-Chain Summer kickoff, talked about how On-Chain Summer wasn't just some sort of marketing or advertising campaign, that it's a meme, it's a culture. And so when you have culture, which is really humanity, right, pulled into this whole world of crypto, and it really becomes a different kind of space. And I think that's what really sets apart Boomer, is because we really do sort of come through with this real humanity. Like, again, going back to the authenticity, and then being able to bring sort of this idea of crypto from abstract into concrete in this new step that we took. Today's Monday, Thursday. The timeline on this thing is crazy, right? It's huge. It was, and I love what Kevin said, how this isn't just big for their venue. It isn't just big for Boomer. It's big for crypto, because this is such a great, huge step forward into, making it real crypto for real people in the real world.
I think this is the evolution of how memes are going to go, right? And I think, what all started off back in 2020 with with Doge, not really, it's like a fun little meme, but nothing else with utility or value. And as we're progressing down the journey of the meme evolution, as you can say, then it starts coming like, hey, merchants are going to start using it, and it's going to become actually like a currency type way, because it's a way of capturing attention. And I think from a merchant standpoint, it's a no-brainer move for them. And I think more merchants, once they start seeing what's capable, they're going to want to get into it and start accepting it, because memes are attention. It's a form of attention. And if you can rally around a group, or thousands plus of people who believe in the same value of this token, then you give them value to use it, they're going to want to support any establishment vendor who are going to also believe in the mission, right? Think about the US dollar. The US dollar is just a green piece of paper. There's no real value to it except for the people that believe in the actually underlying currency, which is, I'm going to give you a green dollar, I'm going to get X amount back. So now you have vendors, merchants, who are going to be like, I'm going to accept Boomer, and because I believe in the value of it. If it goes up, down, it doesn't matter. So now you're going to have your Boomer community be like, this is incredible. I want to support people who support us as a community. So now this merchant is going to get more business derived from their ability to accept crypto for Boomer. And everyone wins. The community has the ability to spend to get their value of their, meme out there. The vendor makes more sales all throughout the attention. So kudos to you. Kudos to the vendors in San Fran. And yeah, the better it is for the space if more people start accepting crypto like that.
It's a really interesting way to redefine the idea of cultural currency, right? Because, especially in this age of social media and how people create value, it's a little bit of a play on the word, but yeah, I mean, Boomer's out here redefining things, like what it means to have cultural currency, what it means to make cultural currencies and use it. So very exciting stuff for sure.
Absolutely. So guys, I want to know, because I think it's important for communities to know kind of like the story about, some that are in charge. As two of the core team members, building trust is important. And I think knowing a little bit about your guys' background goes a long way in establishing more trust. So Christian and Lemaire, if you guys don't mind, tell us about your crypto journey. Like, who are you guys at its core? And, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you go first, Christian?
Yeah, Christian.
I'll go first. Yeah. I grew up in San Diego, kind of jumped around the States, met a lot of people, but I think where my crypto story began was in 2017 with Bitcoin. This will age me a little bit too. I used it to buy a fake ID back in the day. And that poor choice. I wish I would have just held on to the Bitcoin at that time, but it is what it is. It got me into the space. I think from then until now, it was really learning and meeting great people. Kind of the rotation of that, depending on where we were in the bull or bear market. But what gets me so passionate about Boomer is I understand what the space can do when it comes to bringing people together around the world. But there's a lot of nuances and risks and scary parts of crypto that can be avoided, that I wish someone had showed me when I was first getting into it early on. So I part of my motivation, or honestly a big part, is it's kind of my way of giving back to the space by providing like a clear pretty transparent way to invest in crypto, that you have a face matched to the team. You know what the project's backed up by. We did an audit. People didn't understand what the audit meant. We went and did a YouTube video with a software engineer to break it down. Things like that, just to get people a better understanding of what's going on in the space as a way of giving back. But in real life, I guess outside of crypto, I run an AI marketing tech company outside of Austin, Texas. And then before that, I was doing more kind of cybersecurity. So I've kind of been dipped into the nerd world and combined it with marketing my whole life. but I've enjoyed it. This is really my first project, I would say, going full speed would be Boomer. But it's been a blast so far.
That's incredible. Lemaire, how about you?
My crypto journey, Bill, is probably as old as Boomer. I'm not even joking. I know Christian knows this story, but so my birthday was on April 4th, and that was my first day in crypto of this year.
Oh, wow.
It only happened because a friend of mine has been bugging me for years, not years, for a long time to get into it and to understand it. And he's like, listen, the bull market's coming. I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't know what that is. Like, okay. So he was like, here, just, happy birthday. And he gave me some ETH. And when I sink my teeth into something, when I sink my teeth into a project, like, it's sunk deep. So I'm actually a 17-year veteran in the marketing space, the global marketing space. And so I've been doing global experiences for a very, very, very long time. I started as a very young woman. And so for me, when I started getting into this, and specifically a couple of weeks later when I got an airdrop for Boomer, and I was like, what the hell is this? Is this going to blow my wallet up? I don't know what's happening. So I did my research. I did my due diligence. I went to the community, my very first little crypto community. And I was like, what is this, you guys? And everyone's like, it's cool, it's legit. And so, I bought my first bag of Boomer, jumped into the Telegram, met some amazing people, lived on the VC for the first couple of weeks, loved the community. And then I just voraciously researched and learned about Boomer and crypto and everything. But I think, so for me, I'm very, very, very new, but I'm not new to really understanding how you can have, a cultural movement, whether it's memes or something else going on in the world, and how, you can bring, like Christian said, have something be a focal point that brings people together. The timing has to be everything. Right now is a really great time, as you can imagine, to learn about the space, experiment in the space, take your time and, just learn something new. And then, you're smart about it and you're safe about it, which is really what we espouse, this whole idea of safety through education and community. Then you can also maybe have a little bit of a bigger bag than what you first put in, right? So it's a win-win. And so I think for me, it has really reinvigorated me. I'm not going to lie, because I've been in the global marketing space for a very, very long time. I'm a VP in the marketing space. So I've done a lot, I've seen a lot. But at some point, you get to be somebody like me, the age that I'm at, I'm like, I need something more. And I just happened to trip into this. This was also my very first project. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing, amazing ride. So I'm looking forward to keep learning and making this project as big and amazing as it really does have the promise to be.
I love that you literally just got into crypto in April, and now you're a core team member of one of the top meme coins on Base. That's a journey. That's an incredible accomplishment. Amazing. Welcome to crypto.
Yeah, no kidding.
I love it. I love it. There's so much here. There's so much here to learn about and have a lot of fun with. So
amazing.
Super happy to be here.
Yeah, launching into the team was awesome because it was exactly what we're looking to kind of target with Boomer too, because she's new to crypto, was looking for an open community, wanted to learn more. And I think a big kind of mentality behind Boomer is giving people their aha moment. because I know once you get into crypto,
Yeah.
I remember when I first got into it, I was excited. Didn't really know what the heck I was doing, but then my buddy kind of broke it down, and I had my aha moment, and then I wanted to almost like stay up late, pretty much researching all night, because you can pretty much learn limitlessly with crypto. So we want to unlock that for people as they come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's incredibly important to have a safe space for newcomers to come in. You know, crypto and Web3 is just a wild place. Like if you're always new, I remember I got in. I've been in crypto for a long time, but when I really dabbled into the markets was in 2017 as well, and I knew nothing really except for Bitcoin at that time. So falling down the rabbit hole per se, I was on my own. There was no community that can call my own to help guide me, right? What you guys are doing is really important because there's going to be 1 million plus users onboarded that are normies that are going to need help. And they're going to need a community that can kind of guide them, their teacher per se. What better way is for Boomer? And I do like the fact that, you know, two of the core team members, you guys have such extensive experience in the real world. You guys aren't some like 18-year-old devs living in, you know, God knows where, you know. It built a lot of trust and community confidence knowing that there's head people on this project supporting that, you know, are articulate and well versed in their respective fields and marketing. So super cool to see that. So before we head off and call this, you know, a show, do you got any last words you'd like to say to the Boomer community?
I would say thank you. Let's keep building. This has been awesome so far. I think the biggest thing is that everyone's got a voice. If you got a good idea, bring it to the table. We'll probably crowdfund it and try to implement it. That's how we got here, and that's what we'll continue to do. It's been a blast so far.
Any last thoughts from you, Lemire?
You know, I think what I would say is one of the things that I do on this team is to really try to get more engagement from the lady boomers, from the women who are on the TG, tend to lurk a little bit more. But I mean, I think just being here and giving people encouragement to say this is a space where you can have a voice and you should use your voice to be able to make the community bigger and better. So, you know, I think whatever we can do to be more inclusive, have all different kinds of people come in and learn about the space, learn about Boomer. I'm so here for it. I'm so very here for it.
Amazing. Thank you guys for your time. If you guys are listening to this episode on Spotify, please head over to the YouTube page where you can obviously see this video, but we'll also drop down the links for Boomer, their Telegram, their Twitter page, and of course, you'll find the Late Night on Base page as well. Please do follow and like our channel so we can provide more of these videos. Guys, thank you so much. And
thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. It's been awesome.
Thanks, Mel.